Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. The Ministry of Civil Service starts conducting exams for more than 4,000 job seekers according to the Central Employment System. The Chief Executive Officer of the Public Authority for Civil Aviation says that concentrated construction efforts are exerted to open the new Salalah Airport before Kharif season. And activities of the 6th School Theatre Festival starts in the Governorate of Muscat. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya on the victims of the attack on Garissa University in Kenya. His Majesty the Sultan received a cable of greetings from His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei Dar es Salaam on the occasion of the blessed safe return of His Majesty to the homeland. The Ministry of Civil Service started exams and interviews of the announced vacancies for the governorates of Muscat and South Batna according to the vacancies announcement issued on the 4th of March. More than 4,000 job seekers competed for 233 administrative, crafts and technical vacancies. The employment examinations are conducted in transparent atmosphere as per the rules and procedures of the Central Employment System without interference of humans. After the exams were finished, the results were displayed immediately. And during the exams, His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar al-Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, visited the employment halls to check the exam procedures. Activities of the career fair began today in the Rostaq College for Applied Sciences in the Governorate of South Batna. The three-day fair is being organized by the Ministry of Higher Education with participation of 30 governmental and private sector institutions and companies. His Excellency Hamid bin Khamis Al-Amri, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Labor Affairs, presided over the opening ceremony of the fair in the presence of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Muhammad Al-Sarmi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Higher Education. The fair contained a number of work and training opportunities as well as stations for students' projects and small and medium enterprises. Concentrated construction efforts are exerted by the company implementing Salalah Airport to be operational prior to the Kharif season this year. That was emphasized by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Nasser al-Zaabi, Chief Executive Officer of Public Authority for Civil Aviation. In a statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television, he expected that the air flights will be multiplied to Muscat and Salalah Airport after they are open. He also said Muscat International Airport is considered as a giant with regard to size, equipment and systems. The two runways at this new airport will evidently multiply air flights. With regard to Salalah Airport, the initial plan is to operate the new airport before Kharif season. It has been noticed that some airline companies have increased their flights, such as Qatar Airways, operating 8 flights to Salalah Airport weekly, and with the induction of new services and systems, other airlines will also increase flights to Salalah Airport. The city of Goa in India is the 49th destination of Oman Air and the 11th in India. The national carrier launched its first air flights to Goa, starting off from Muscat with 4 flights weekly. Expansion plans of Oman Air includes raising the volume of the carrier's fleet to 70 aircrafts by 2020 and to increase more new destinations and to support the number of air flights on the current lines. His Excellency J.S. Mukul, India's accredited ambassador to the Sultanate, in a statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television, said that the volume of trading exchange between the two countries is stable, reaching to around $5.8 billion per year, hoping that through commencing this new destination, the economic relationship between them will be boosted. This is what he had to say.
I think we are in a very fortunate position that the total trade of 5.8 billion per year is equally balanced between the two countries. The exports from India and to Oman and the imports into India from Oman are broadly balanced at around 2.8 billion each way. So I think the trade balance is very, very even. But I think it's not only about balance. I think there is need to open up new business destinations, and I believe The link which will be provided by Oman Air flights between Muscat and Goa would add to our business exchanges and further increase trade and investment opportunities between the business communities of the two countries.
The Royal Oman Police celebrated the opening of a complex special task police unit in the Wilaya of Sohar at the Governorate of North Batna. Brigades of new recruits were also graduated at military parade grounds. The event was presided over by His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed al-Omani, Minister of the Royal Office. The column leader requested the chief guest to inspect the front row, and then the graduates put up a parade by slow march. After that, the chief guest presented prizes of appreciation to top graduates. Then the graduates performed the chant and performed the loyalty oath. And then the leaders requested for the closing of the military parade, which was accompanied by units of police music band. And then the chief guest and the attendees followed a number of show items presented by the Police Command of Special Task. There were special operations, personalities, protections, airdrop in cooperation with the Department of Police Air Wing. Then the chief guest took up an inspection tour at facilities of the Special Task Unit, accompanied by His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen al-Shraiqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs. It's a complete security unit with the aim to spread security by dispatching various patrols besides other necessary units such as training, exercise, educational, medical and housing facilities. The Royal Oman Police works diligently to preserve and protect safety and security of the Sultanate's achievements, putting up into operation human potentials to build up modern police using efficient planning to go in line with the new security developments witnessed by the world. And still to come in our news bulletin. The 10th Muscat Securities Market Forum is started at Sultan Qaboos University. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A video uploaded online today purported to show Daesh group militants moving into the Palestinian refugee camp of Yarmouk on the edge of the Syrian capital of Damascus. According to activists on the ground, hundreds of Yarmouk residents fled the camp today amid shelling by government forces and clashes between the militants and Palestinians. In the footage, the fighters could be seen firing rifles and chanting religious slogans as they advanced inside the camp. An activist based in an area just south of Damascus said as many as 2,000 people have left the camp. The United Nations says around 18,000 civilians, including a large number of children, are trapped in Yarmouk. The camp has been under government siege for nearly 2 years, leading to starvation and illness caused by the lack of medical aid. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said today that the Palestinian Liberation Organization members in Syria are trying to solve a crisis in a huge refugee camp in Damascus, which has been overrun by the Daesh group. The Yarmouk refugee camp, set up for displaced Palestinians, has seen the militants take over 90% of its territory. Abbas also said that Israel has released frozen tax revenues to the authorities, but he had ordered the funds to be returned because money had been deducted to cover debts to Israeli utility companies. Those deductions amounted to a third of the total sum that Israel owed the Palestinians. Israel started withholding around $130 million a month in tax and customs revenues in December. The move came after the Palestinians announced that they were joining the International Criminal Court, a move finalized on April the 1st. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi announced today a national air quality index to monitor pollution levels in 10 major cities. The index will indicate whether air is healthy, poor, harmful or hazardous. Air pollution has risen to alarming levels in most Indian cities, and according to the World Health Organization, it is responsible for the premature deaths of about 620,000 people in the country every year. The capital, New Delhi, suffers from high levels of air pollution. It already has air quality monitors, but experts say the readings may not be reliable. The Religious Tolerance exhibition continues its global tour and launched in the Korean Museum for Multicultures in the capital, Seoul. The exhibition aims to spread values of understanding, coexistence, and dialogue among world nations, as well as discarding all images and forms of extremism, violence, and hatred. The exhibition is considered a valuable chance to get acquainted with the real Islamic culture and strengthening understanding among cultures, regardless of historical, political, and religious issues. Development of Jurisprudence Sciences Symposium in its 14th edition continued its work for the second consecutive day amidst huge attendance from Islamic nation scholars and intellectuals. They discussed mechanisms of deriving jurisprudence, adaptations, stressing the need to view developments of the age to enable Islamic nations to understand fiqh matters in line with daily life changes. A number of jurisprudence scholars called to derive fiqh issues for the interest of Islamic nations. Relations between the Sultanate and Bangladesh in manpower. Top discussions between His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, with His Excellency Muhammad Shahriyar Alim, Minister of State at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh and Member of Parliament. They also discussed labor market systems for the interest of both countries and talked about a number of matters related to technical education and vocational training. Within the context of his visit to the Sultanate, His Excellency Muhammad Shahriyar Alim, Minister of State at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh and members of Parliament, and his delegation toured Royal Opera House, Muscat, and acquainted with activities hosted by the Royal Opera House. His Excellency toured various utilities of the Opera House and acquainted with its capabilities to host sophisticated artistic shows, cultural gatherings, and international activities, which work to enhance civilizational closeness and cultures. In the Wilaya of Al Jazir in the Governorate of Wusta, the citizens organized a loyalty and gratitude procession rejoicing the return of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to the country. Huge crowds of citizens participated in the procession, carrying pictures of His Majesty and hoisting flags of the Sultanate. They expressed their sincere greetings and prayed to Almighty Allah to protect His Majesty as the guardian of this country and its people. It was also accompanied by Omani traditional arts and poetry. With the participation of 7 Pali shows from 7 governorates of the Sultanate, activities of the 6th School Theatre Festival started in Muscat. The festival sought to develop theatre as an educational method which aims to prepare future generations. The 5-day festival also aimed to improve the students' abilities through theatre. At the end of each show, evaluation is conducted by the theatre specialists. The 10th Muscat Securities Market Forum, organized by MSM in collaboration with the Sultan Qaboos University today, started at the College of Commerce and Political Science at SQU and lasts for 3 days. The forum includes an educational exhibition for the participants' organizations, in addition to some activities by students of the College of Commerce and Political Sciences on investment, saving, and the best student practices in investment and researches related to this field. Booklets and handouts that raise public awareness of this issue will be distributed to visitors of the exhibition. The activities include a number of panel discussions and seminars on the role of MSM in enhancing investments, supporting the national economy, and diversifying sources of national income. They will also cover the role of Islamic banks in financing the socio-economical development project. A number of public and private organizations take part in the forum, including the Capital Market Authority, Muscat Clearance and Depository Company, Omani Securities Association, and a number of security brokerage companies. For the general weather forecast, dusty skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of fog and low clouds along the coastal areas and the governorates of Buraymi, Zahira and Wusta. Winds along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea will be southwesterly light to moderate, while along the rest of the Sultanate it will be northwesterly light to moderate and occasionally active. Seas will be moderate along the western coast of the governorate of Musandam and the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, while along the rest of the coast it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Civil Service starts conducting exams for more than 4,000 job seekers, according to the Central Employment System. The Chief Executive Officer of the Public Authority for Civil Aviation says that concentrated construction efforts are exerted to open the new Salalah Airport before Kharif season. And activities of the 6th School Theatre Festival starts in the Governorate of Muscat. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.